Here are all the materials I used, nicely organized. I have the felt attached to the fabric and I'm just drawing some lines for sewing, then adding in the cuts at each indent. Just some quick straight stitches on these lines, and this will give the flower shape and cushion effect. Then add in the stuffing, fold over the 3 sides, use some pins to hold them together, and sew them shut. Repeat for the remaining sections. And now the top cushion is done. To make the button, I have a stack of 4 felt circles, and I'm just wrapping and sewing this cloth around it. I'm going around the outside, just making sure that I smooth out any folds to really get that round shape. And then using shallow stitches, attach that button to the top of the cushion. You're not bringing the needle all the way through, just on the surface. I'm cutting a scalloped edge of white felt for the bottom, which looks like whipped cream, and longer cuts for the top to resemble a glaze. Just going to adjust them once I measure them to the fabric, and then pin them down so that they are ready to be sewn on. Since I want to make sure that the design goes all the way, I'm just going to have 2 needles on a piece of thread and go sewing in opposite directions, just getting around each curve and making sure it's well secured. And since I miscalculated, I have to adjust the size of the other piece, just giving that a quick cut and then measuring where it's going to go, and then just making adjustments accordingly. A little bit of trimming here and giving that a quick pin before making another trim. And I'm using the same double needle approach to sew both the top and the bottom, making sure that this piece is well secured. And then I'll measure in the felt pieces, pin them down, fold over the fabric, and trim down what I won't need before making some cuts. And because the pieces of decoration are being continuously sewn, I don't want to make any cuts, so I'm just going to secure in all the felt pieces, and this will make it easier since I'll know how much of the decorations I'll need. And with the last felt panel, I know where to end the decorations, so I'll just trim that off, sew that down so it's secure, and the top as well, and then I'll be able to trim off the excess fabric and add the pins for the last piece. Since I'm not making any cuts in the top or bottom of the fabric, I'm just going to continuously sew the top and bottom, just using a similar color of thread to the fabric. And for the sides, I'm switching from a white thread to a red thread, just to match the color, and so that the stitches are better hidden. And then along the glaze, a cream color to match. Now with 3 sides secured, I'm going to add some stuffing and sew that last side shut. Again, matching the thread colors to the fabric, just so it has a neater look. And I'm going to use the same color changing method and stuffing for the rest of the panels. And that is securing 3 of the 4 sides before adding stuffing and sewing that last side shut. With all the panels sewn and stuffed, I can connect the 2 pieces of the arch, just using a looping stitch on the back side and making sure the stitches aren't seen from the front, so just a more surface stitch. To decorate the eyes, I'm cutting various sizes of circles of white felt, and then I'll be sewing these to the inner part of the eye, just making sure that I'm not doing it too tight or you'll see all the holes, and then sewing it to the outer piece. I have a light pink fabric layered over white felt for the face. I'll just add the eyes here before adding an upside down Y for the mouth. Then I'll secure the face of the arch, just doing some small stitches. And then I'll go on to creating the arms and the tail, just sewing around the outer border before flipping it inside out and adding stuffing and sewing it shut. To decorate the tail, I have a piece of brown felt and I'm going to bend some wire to make the buckle, just trying to make a rounded oval piece with a line in the middle. This will allow the outer pieces of the buckle to be seen. I'm just going to use my tweezers to thread that through and then wrap it around the tail and sew it shut. And attaching the tail to the arch, I'm just going to bend it over to give it that swishing look before securing it to the outer part of the arch and adding the arms in a similar way, securing it to the extra fabric of the face and making sure that the arms are also secured together. And once that's done, I can add the cushion. So using angled stitches and a cream colored thread, I'm just going to attach that. And I want to make sure that the red is hidden since the glaze is supposed to look continuous. So I'm just using some short, shallow stitches to ensure that the fabric covers that up. And then just continuing to sew the rest of the cushion all the way around. Next up, I want to add some stuffing, some love, and some more stuffing to protect it, and the base piece. Just some straight stitches, and that should secure it pretty well. And then you will be all done.